Jazakallah, may Allah pardon. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, now this will be followed by question time. So anybody who has got questions should just ask, but the question should pertain to the subject, and the questions should be asked one for each person, and the questions should be asked one by one. Please maintain the highest in our discipline, and if you have got any questions to ask to Brother Ahmed Deedat, you can ask them. Thank you.
No. If you understood my English, did you understand my English? If you understood, I think, no, you see, I will give you an example, if we have time, that the Christian missionaries dressed like you know, with the shamish and kalwar, they come around and say, uncle, I'd like to ask you a question in Urdu. So I feel compassion for the man, and the guy makes a fool of me because I don't know the language. So please.
And you said, this is Islam. Islam says, Allah is the one who is over. I know this verse is mentioned a few places in translation, but has anybody connected this verse with divorce?
I think, you see now, what happened in Nelson, you quoting here, you were given opportunity there to ask questions, which you didn't ask. Right. So now we have to explain in what context was this verse quoted. Allah tazuru waziratun wizra ukhra means no bearer of a burden bears the burden of another. Right. Where does it fit in with talaq? No, it doesn't fit in with talaq there. But as says now you made the mistake. You divorced your wife in anger. You. Now you're going to punish your wife to go and sleep with an old man. Where is your sense? I'm asking, where is your brains that you made the mistake and your wife must go and sleep with another man to purify her for you? So I said, look, the law of Allah says that no bearer of a burden bears the burden of another. It was your burden, we should have punished you, make you to sleep with some sodomite, some gay, instead of that poor woman. Please don't do that. Look, this was the feeling that I had when I uttered the words that no bearer of a burden bears the burden of another, meaning you make the mistake, you pay for it. That's the law of Allah in the Quran, not your wife. See? So in that sense, the connection was about punishing the wrong person.
What is the masla for this?
No, please, brother. Look, I spoke for more than an hour. Look.
Give me 2 minutes more. Please.
All right, give him 2 minutes.
One question.
He might think he doesn't agree with this, but he actually has, because Mr. Ahmed Deedat, I'm very pleased with him, very since the beginning. Please don't ask me what I think is haram. It's very good, because it's not accepted. He says, don't ask me why I'm very good. But why evil? Because Islam, the Muslim says, when he said something, I think against the Imam, all of them, some of these things you say, don't mention this because it's not going to feel right, and you have to do it yourself. And now he said, again, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. I think you should more careful.
question, not the discussion time, the question time.
Yes, brother, what have you got? Just keep a little far. Keep the mouth far from the, yeah. Look, I can't, the thing, the sound, yes, go ahead, my son.
You're talking about Christians destroying Islam, amongst other people, Islam is being destroyed, we have copies, stories, they're destroying Islam themselves. The new generation is being confused by this, half of them will not confuse the new generation.
Yes.
Can you please tell them?
Yes, yes. You see, the way to unconfuse them is to take them to the Quran. Take them to the Quran. In other words, now you have to know the Quran. I quoted the Quran. Allah's law says that whatever you do, you pay for it. Right? Now, that is a principle, eternal principle with Allah. You bring me anybody, now man, what a great alim he is. He says, no, you commit rape and murder and somebody else gets punished for it. I says, no, I can't accept. Allah says, Allah taziru waziratum wizra ukhra. Bibi Aisha Siddiqa, she said that, that there is current among the Muslims an idea that if a person dies and the woman, she wails and complains and she cries, the deceased person gets punishment. So in answer to that, she quoted this verse. In Aisha Siddiqa, the al-Mumineen, our mother, she quoted this verse, where it says, now the woman is crying and the husband is getting punished, one who's dead. So she says, Allah taziru waziratum wizra ukhra. Now mind, the whole ummah says that the man is getting punished, the husband, for the woman crying. Allah says, she says, Allah says, no bearer of burden is the burden. If the woman is guilty for crying, complaining to Allah, then she will be punished, not the man, not the deceased. That is the law, and we have to accept it. No arguments. You come along with this and that. I say, look, these are your ideas. You are prepared to talk. You call me. This alim that you have in mind, you bring him to me, and I want him to answer this. That you make the mistake and your woman pays for that. That, I said, look, it doesn't enter my mind. Explain to me how. So you see, so the thing is, we have to go to the Quran. Once you go to the Quran, wallah, this is the common denominator. That will unify us, whether Tablighi or Sunni or whatever. If you want to unite people, you need a common denominator. At the moment, you have your own heroes. I have my hero, you have your hero. You want to know what your hero says. I want to tell you, so my hero says this. Therefore, there's a conflict. If we have our hero, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as our hero, and this book of guidance as our book of principles, inshallah, this will bring us all together. There's no conflict. When I tell you Allah says this, no conflict. Can you see now? Whatever I'm talking about, this is what Allah says. You can't tell me, say, Hamara mazhab ye kehta hai, my mazhab says, I say, look, excuse me, Allah says this in the Quran. What have you to say to that? Your Sheikh, I want to know what he says about this. So this is the common denominator that can bring Muslims together. Allah's kalam. And that's what I'm urging everybody to do. Go to the book of God. Books we have plenty. And the books have divided us. Our heroes have divided us. Go to Allah's kalam and Allah's kalam will unite us. This is the rope of Allah. Allah says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold fast to the rope of Allah which is stretched out for you and don't be divided among yourselves. This is the rope. We are not holding rope. Nobody reads the rope. Nobody reads the book. Tell me what this book says about talaq. What this book says. There is a whole surah in this Quran called Surah Talaq. Since you touched it, the whole surah called Talaq. Talaq means divorce. Allah Bari Ta'ala spells out for us in detail. If you reach a stage where you and your wife can't agree, then it sets in motion, it tells you what, step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, what to do before you can say, I divorce you over a period of 3 months. He is telling you what to do. You won't listen, you didn't read the Quran. You're not listening to Allah's kalam. And now you go along and say, talaq, talaq, talaq. I said, where did you get that? Is that what Allah told you in His Quran?